Art meets literature today. I'm diving into the book and art tag, and honestly, this might be one of my favorite tag concepts ever. I was tagged by the amazing Great Literary Rabbit Hole about a month ago. Go check out her channel if you love thoughtful book discussions. She's brilliant. Hey there, I'm Anna, and this is Tucker, and we hope you're having a great day. What's funny is that this tag combines two of my lifelong loves in a way that I never thought to do before. I actually took art history in college, completely by accident. I was studying computer engineering and I needed to fill a general education slot. Art history was literally the only option that fit around my engineering schedule. This beast right here is my 2.5-inch thick art history textbook that I still have. I'm not kidding, guys. Look at this thing. I haven't put a ruler to this, but it is quite chunky and very heavy. That class pushed me to 19 units that semester, which made it my hardest term in college, but it ended up being one of my absolute favorite classes. I've loved art and books for most of my life, but I never thought to put them together like this until now. The book and art tag was originally created by Daniela over at Uncommon Reader, and it's a very brilliant concept. Let's see if my art history knowledge serves me well, or if I've completely missed the mark. Let's get to it. First up, we have Caspar David Friedrich's Wanderer Above the Sea of Fog. It's that iconic image of a figure standing alone on a rocky peak, looking out over the misty mountains. Friedrich was a part of the Romantic movement, and this painting captures that perfect sense of the individual confronting the sublime in nature. For a book that explores solitude, I chose The Man in the Stone Cottage by Stephanie Cowell. Now, this isn't a book that's out yet. It will be published in September of 2025, and I received an ARC a couple of months ago. But here's what makes this book perfect. It's actually about the Bronte sisters, focusing on Charlotte and Emily. The plot speculates that Emily had a secret lover living alone in a cottage on the moors. So you have this man, completely isolated, wrestling with his past and his longing for Emily. But Emily herself is also profoundly isolated. Even surrounded by her family, she takes to the moors alone, keeping this relationship secret because she's too terrified to tell anyone. When she dies, before she can introduce him to her family, he's left completely alone with just his memories and his grief. It's this beautiful, tragic exploration of different kinds of solitude, physical isolation, emotional isolation, and the isolation that comes from keeping secrets. Very much in the spirit of Friedrich's lone wanderer contemplating the vastness before him. Next, we have Raphael's Cherubs, those adorable little angels that are probably on someone's dorm room wall right now. The prompt is a book with supernatural protagonists. I chose Poison Princess by Kresley Cole from the Arcana Chronicles series. This is one of my absolute favorite series that I've mentioned before. It's post-apocalyptic with tarot card mythology. The main character, Evie, has supernatural powers that are tied to the Empress tarot card, and the entire cast is made up of teenagers who embody different tarot archetypes. What I love is how these aren't your typical supernatural beings. They're humans with supernatural destinies, which creates this beautiful tension between normal teenage life and cosmic responsibility. It's very different from Cherubs, but both deal with beings that exist between the mortal and divine realms. Kandinsky's Moscow, this abstract explosion of color and energy representing the future and modernity. For a book set in the future, sci-fi or dystopian, I chose Divergent. Okay, I know. Everyone's read Divergent, but here's why it fits perfectly. Like Kandinsky's painting, Divergent presents this fractured, colorful world where society has been reorganized into these distinct factions. The abstract nature of how their world works, the way traditional society has been completely reimagined, mirrors that same artistic reconstruction of reality that Kandinsky was doing with Moscow. Plus, both the painting and the book deal with identity and finding where you belong in a world that's been completely transformed. Bert Marceau's The Cradle, this incredibly tender painting of a mother watching over her sleeping child. Marceau was one of the few female artists in the Impression movement, and she brought this intimate, domestic perspective that her male colleagues often missed. For a mother-child bond, I chose When You Trap a Tiger by Tay Keller, and this choice is deeply personal for me. I'm half Korean, and this book made me think so much about my own relationship with my mom and our cultural heritage. The story follows a girl whose Korean grandmother is dying, and they share this incredible bond rooted in Korean folklore and family stories. What made this even more special for me is that I actually read this book with my own children. They parallel the sisters in the story. They have a Korean grandmother too, though thankfully my mom is healthy and not dying. There was something so powerful about reading about this 3-generation Korean American family experience while living it myself. The way the book explores how cultural stories and family bonds transcend language barriers and generational differences, it just hits so close to home for me. Like Marceau's painting, it captures that fierce, protective love between generations of women and how we carry each other's stories forward. Renoir's The Swing, pure childhood joy and innocence, capturing that carefree moment of play in dappled sunlight. Renoir was a master at capturing fleeting moments of happiness. This immediately made me think of We Dream of Space by Erin Entrada Kelly. It's set in 1986 and follows 3 siblings dealing with family problems while the Challenger disaster unfolds in the background. Now, I grew up in the 80s. I was a little young to clearly remember the Challenger disaster when it happened, but reading this book just transported me right back to that era. Kelly captures something so specific about 80s childhood, that sense of possibility mixed with growing awareness that the adult world isn't as safe as you thought. What connects it to Renoir's painting is how both artists celebrate those perfect moments of childhood wonder and sibling connection, even when you know they can't last forever. Both works have this bittersweet quality, joy tinged with the knowledge that innocence is temporary. Grant Wood's American Gothic, probably the most parodied painting ever, showing rural American life with that iconic farmer and his daughter. Obviously, my pick here is To Kill a Mockingbird. Harper Lee's Maycomb, Alabama is the perfect match for Wood's rural American setting. Both works examine small-town life beneath the surface. Wood's painting has this tension beneath the exposed exterior, and Lee's novel reveals the prejudice and complexity hidden in what seems like a simple southern town. I've actually talked about this book quite a bit on my channel over the past few months. My daughter and I even did a whole discussion video about it together. If you missed that conversation, I'll put the link in the description box below because we had some really great insights about how the book reads differently across different generations. Both Wood and Lee were examining what it really means to be American, particularly in rural settings where tradition and change collide. Artemisia Gentileschi's self-portrait, showing herself as the allegory of painting itself. She was groundbreaking as one of the first women to paint major historical and religious scenes, working in a completely male-dominated field. For a female protagonist ahead of her time, I chose The Awakening by Kate Chopin. Edna's search for independence and self-identity in 1890s New Orleans was revolutionary for its time. Like Artemisia, Edna refuses to be confined by what society expects of women. I actually featured this book in one of my recent videos about forgotten classics that deserve more recognition. It's one of those books that was way ahead of its time, but is finally getting the attention it deserves. Both women, artist and character, demanded the right to define themselves rather than be defined by others. The tragedy is that society wasn't ready for either of them, but their courage paved the way for future generations. Okay, for the bonus round, I get to choose my own art and create a prompt. I chose The Singing Butler by Jack Vetriano. This is an absolutely gorgeous painting of a couple dancing on a beach while two servants hold umbrellas against the wind and rain. This is genuinely one of my most favorite paintings ever. I had a calendar with a reproduction of this painting years ago, and when that calendar year ended, I kept it up on my wall anyway because I love looking at it so much. I can't remember how many years I had it up. Years. It was years. So my prompt is a book about finding beauty and joy in imperfect circumstances. And I chose The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald as the book that fits this prompt. Now, hear me out. I know that Gatsby doesn't end well, but there's something about the way Fitzgerald captures these golden moments of possibility. The parties, the dreams, the romance, all set against the backdrop of moral decay and inevitable tragedy. Like Vetriano's couple dancing in the storm, with servants struggling to protect them from the elements, Gatsby and Daisy find these moments of perfect beauty, even though everything around them is falling apart. The servants can't really protect the dancers from the rain, just like money and parties can't protect Gatsby and Daisy from reality. Both the painting and the novel ask the same question. Can we find meaning and beauty even when we know it won't last? And both artists answer with this gorgeous but bittersweet yes. This tag was so much fun to think through. It really tested my art history and book knowledge at the same time, and it really made me appreciate how my accidental art history class all those years ago has stayed with me. Sometimes the classes you don't expect to take end up being the ones that enrich your life in ways you never imagined. Thank you again to the Great Literary Rabbit Hole for tagging me. Go check out her amazing 36-minute version of this tag if you want to see some truly thoughtful art and book connections. All right, here's the part where I get to tag a couple of people. So I'm going to tag Spill the Reads and Mads Reads because I'd love to see their artistic interpretations. And if this tag sounds fun to you and you want to do it, consider yourself tagged. What did you think of my choices? Did any of them surprise you? And if you took art history or you have a favorite painting, let me know what book it reminds you of. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like this video and you want to see more, please feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. I always appreciate the support. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.